for the past 4 days, and we are so delighted to have you in Lagos. Just about 2 weeks ago, you left here, and now you are back again. It shows a lot of commitment. We are very, very grateful. Thank you. Thank you for the leadership. Let me especially recognize also the MD of ITEC.
We now cross live to the stakeholders' engagement with the Honorable Minister of Works and the National Assembly Committees on Works. Let's watch.
Welcome you. Thank you very much. My own directors that are here, Engineer, you are welcome, sir. Despite the fact that you are retiring from the ministry this week, you are still here. We want to thank you very, very much, sir. You are welcome, sir. And then my immediate director, the workaholic director, sir, Engineer Musa Seidu, we want to welcome you. You are always here. You are always supporting the Honorable Minister. All the SSA, I'm sorry, I think this will have come first. All the Senior Special Assistant to Mr. President that are here, please permit me not to begin to mention all the names, the Southwest, the South-South, the Northeast, and so on and so forth. The 6 of them are here for us to see the seriousness that is attached to this matter. We want to thank you very much. Let me apologize to His Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Works, for this delay that we have. We invited everybody to be here. Let me apologize before I even say anything. I would like to apologize. I'm on my knees, Your Excellency. Please forgive me. All the stakeholders that have been heard here, I'm the one bringing everybody. All the people that you see here, I'm the one. Even when I was not the controller. But I apologize. The rain, people are coming from 100 kilometers, section 2 of Coastal Road to this place. Let me apologize. All the KBSC, the Oniru, and all of that, I invited all of them. I think it's the rain and all of that. Please, I apologize, Your Excellency. This is my apology, sir. Okay, so I want to welcome very specially the AIG of Police that is here in our midst. I'm not sure, the Commissioner is also here. Let me welcome you and all your men that are also here. Thank you for the security support we'll be having from you. We want to appreciate you. Let me also appreciate all members from all the communities that are here. I know that many of them are still on their way. Many of them, and I know that before we finish or before we even go further, some of them will come in. So please, we welcome you all. It is my delight this afternoon to welcome you all to this occasion of the press conference and stakeholders engagement with National Assembly Committee on Works and the Honorable Minister of Works himself. The federal government, through the Federal Ministry of Works, and the National Assembly Committee on Works have embarked on a total evaluation. Yesterday, we were all on the Coastal Road with the honorable members, both House of Rep and Senate, with His Excellency and all the SSAs. Everybody has been involved in this. On a total evaluation of all the challenges of flooding within the vicinity of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Even yesterday, we were with Mr. Governor also to find a lasting solution to this. And today is the press conference as regards this issue of flooding. Mine is to welcome everyone. It's a welcome address. I should not spend more than 5 minutes. On that note, I welcome you all. I know we'll have a fruitful deliberation. His Excellency, under the leadership of His Excellency, we already found this solution to it, and I know that the solution will come here today. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for that presentation. Next in line is a remark by a partner, the Honorable Minister of States, Honorable Mohammed Bello Goronyo. You're welcome, sir.
Your Excellency, my leader and my boss, the Honorable Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi, very distinguished members of the National Assembly, starting from the Chairman Senate Committee and Chairman House of Representative Committee on Works, and very distinguished members of those committees, the representative of the Minister of Works, Minister of Environment, sorry, directors and staff of the Ministry of Works, very distinguished honorable senior special advisors to Mr. President, sorry, permit me to recognize you, not in order of protocol, but just to say that we are highly pleased to have you in our midst for the couple of days. The contracting engineering guru, high-tech, our supportive security agencies, particularly the Commissioner of Police and other relevant security agencies, very distinguished personalities, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, I warmly welcome you. Good afternoon to this very important community engagement and press briefing at the instance of the Honorable Minister of Works, Engineer David Umahi. Ladies and gentlemen, permit me to acknowledge and appreciate His Excellency, our dear President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, for sending us to come all the way from Abuja to Lagos, spending nights and days here to inspect and supervise what is happening along the coastal highway, which, Mr. President, feel that is very, very important for us, all of us as a team, to be here to inspect and to find out whether it is the coastal highway that is causing the flooding in Lagos or not. And from all indications, from all what we have seen so far from the last 3 days of our engagement, we have found out that it is not the coastal highway that is giving flooding to Lagos, but rather other factors which were highlighted yesterday, and I believe today they are also going to be highlighted so that people will now see that we have the responsibility to really do our own bit. The federal government, the state government, the communities, and of course, each and every one of us has a hand in making sure that we prevent flooding in this coastal highway. Let me also thank our dear leader, Honorable Engineer, His Excellency David Umahi, for bringing everybody on board, particularly the senators, the members of the House of Reps, the senior special assistant to Mr. President, the Ministry of Environment, the stakeholders, the security agencies, and everybody that matters in this very all-engaging meeting. I believe you have shown leadership, Your Excellency, you have shown commitment, you have shown resilience, and you have shown an uncommon commitment to the unity of this nation, of course, and to what is happening in Lagos. You are showing us that you are not only from southeast, but you are all everywhere, because we are on a tour from Akwanga to Jos to Maiduguri, and just from Maiduguri straight to Lagos. And from Lagos, as soon as you boarded the aircraft, you went straight to the field, and you are there up to midnight. What an uncommon leader we have, Engineer David Umahi. Thank you so very much for your leadership. Thank you for your commitment. I pray that this meeting would have a lasting solution to our problem on the flooding in Lagos. And I hope that every stakeholder will take responsibility on the issue of flooding in Lagos. We should not blame the federal government. We should not blame the state government. We should blame each and every one of us should take responsibility and take ownership of his own actions so that together we build a prosperous Lagos, a very clean, a very flood-free Lagos, so that we enjoy the coastal highway that Mr. President is building for us. I thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this opportunity. May God bless you, and may we have a fruitful deliberations as we go on. Thank you, Your Excellency, and may God bless.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Works for State. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Now, the next on the agenda, we are going to have a technical presentation. It's going to be about 3 or 4 of them that will come up. But we are going to start from the ESIA consultant, Dr. Eugene Utua is going to speak. He's going to make a presentation on the coastal road for 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Dr. Utua, where are you? Okay, thank you.
Before the ESIA comes on board, we have to understand principally why we are doing this live stakeholders engagement and the awareness campaign of our coastal highway and the flooding menace in Lagos State. And so the SIA expert will be able to outline the processes leading to where we are as far as ESIA of this wonderful project is concerned. Some argue that, coastal highway is causing flooding. The ESIA will answer that question. We also have the Director, Minister of Environment, the ministry that is in charge of our environment. After that, the lady will speak, and then we will also be able to show you the flooding within this corridor. What are the causes? What we need to do as responsible citizens, and what, in partnership with Lagos State government, should be done. But challenges are daily part of our life. When they come, we put heads together like today to solve it. And at the end, you have the opportunity to ask questions. Very soon, we also provide a telephone so that those watching us may also throw in their questions. And we are able to answer our questions. We are also, with the National Assembly members, committees on work, that of the Senate and that of the Rep, and senators and House of Reps, including the chairman of Senate Committee on Environment. We were on site yesterday. We were on site day before yesterday. We will let you see our findings. We will let you know the challenges. We will let you know the solution, but not absolute. Thank you. ESIA.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would like to stand on the established protocol. Just to say that this presentation will provide us the myths and the facts that the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is not the cause of the flooding in the nearby environment, and indeed that the process had gone through what we'll call due process when it comes to environmental issues, using the lens of international regulations or laws as well as the national regulations. The next slide will tell you today what people think about, what science says. Please, the next slide. I'm communicating with those moderating it over there. Now, people think that flooding is new, that the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is causing the flooding, that drainages should go to the ocean, not to the sea. But science is showing otherwise, that flooding is over 50 years old in Lagos. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is not the driver, and that ocean cannot drain Lagos. The next slide will tell us where this coastal highway lies. A number of us are familiar now that the landmark is there, it's been established. And so, you already know it. We move to the next slide, just to give you some background information. You will see kilometer 0 before the road was constructed. And then a number of us are familiar with landmark. This is the landmark area. And we do know that the coastal highway is passing somewhere around here. And indeed, you can see the development along the alignment. And then here is also part of the alignment that was free. The next slide will also give you further perspective of what had been. And so this is the natural location of this Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Move to the next slide, please. Now, recognizing the location of this proposed project back then, there was a need to do the ESI. The project proponents, the federal government recognized that there is a need to do the EIA. And the EIA was now registered, the process was registered, an application was sent to the Federal Minister of Environment, who provided the scope that we followed. And they worked with us in the field, just as other stakeholders worked with us. Just to let you know that when the Federal Minister of Environment is coming, other relevant government levels are part of what we do. And so that slide gives you what we had done. The myth is that, it is superficial. The regulatory steps were bypassed. It lacked community input. That is not so. Just to let you know that we went through a whole lot of multi-stage processes. There were so many experts that were involved in this very assignment. The long and short of it is that it went through the relevant regulatory sequence. And to emphasize that the process was robust, evidence-driven, and fully compliant with Nigerian environmental laws. The next slide will show you that we went through a whole broader stakeholder engagement. And this slide is showing that. Move to the next slide, please. The next slide will also tell you that even the Honorable Minister had gone to the media to also talk about this. Back then, the members of the National Assembly visited, provided their perspective into this. Move to the next slide. What about the royal fathers and other stakeholders? They were part and parcel of this. And indeed, there was a review of the draft report that was published by the Federal Ministry of Environment for 21 days before we had this review. Move to the next slide, please. This gives you an idea of the entire processes that we went through, starting from project initiation, baseline studies, decision, and then the engineering ESI integration, because there was a need to reinform the conceptual designs based on what we saw in the field. Then the assessment was done, the regulatory review and approval, and then the lender's perspective came into the picture. Just to let you know that lenders are not Nigerian. They are international eyes. They want to support whatever project they have interest in. And so they tick all the boxes that they had actually outlined. And then, of course, construction preparedness, and then actual construction started. The next slide will tell you that having gone through the entire processes, an ESIA certificate was obtained. But before this certificate, just to let you know, I just told you we had done the review. What followed it was a provisional approval for the fact that it meant largely what regulators wanted. And so there was a provisional approval, and then the project started. Just to let you know that preliminary site clearing and geotechnical surveys are allowed before approval. Surveys are not construction, as emphasis. Approval proceeded full execution. And indeed, what you see here is still there on the platform of the Federal Ministry of Environment when it was disclosed. Move to the next slide, please. The next slide also will tell you that we went as far as developing this digest to create that local level understanding of what the project was all about. Move to the next slide, please. The next slide will tell you that the myth is that, there was no ESI. The project skipped environmental approval. Work started before approval. That myth is very dangerous. Why? It convinces people no safeguards exist. It erodes trust in environmental science. It fuels false claims about regulatory failure. It undermines public confidence in infrastructure safety. And indeed, it distracts from the real flood drivers Lagos must face. The ESI misinformation doesn't just distort facts, it harms public trust in the science that protect them. We want to understand that. Elsewhere, people have this tornado myth, and they suffer the consequences. So in other words, ladies and gentlemen, the entire processes, we went through all of that. Move to the next slide, please. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, just to let you know, interestingly, I'm not too sure of any project that has attracted the kind of attention this has gotten. And so, the journey of sustainability in Nigeria, this project has further deepened it. A number of us are familiar with what ESIA is all about now. But it wasn't so before. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway didn't just follow the ESIA process. It made ESIA visible, made it understood, and indeed, to be publicly demanded from even other projects. Now, even if we believe in the myths that we're talking about, I would like to tell you, go to the next slide, the fact that we must bear in mind that NIMET 2026 data now confirmed that Lagos rainfall intensity has increased by up to 25%, with annual total exceeding what it had never been. And then IPCC projection is also showing that, look, we are at a precarious condition and we must do something. What Lagos cannot change, ladies and gentlemen, is that Lagos cannot change this geology. Lagos cannot change the tidal locking. Lagos cannot change its location close to the sea, and indeed, Lagos cannot change rainfall intensity. But are there things we can do? Certainly. The next slide also shows you that there have been challenges, even within the areas bordering the corridor. Flooding. Move to the next slide. The next slide further depicts that, look, the Etiosa local government had issues with flooding. This was picked from the study Lagos State Climate Risk Assessment Comprehensive Report 2021, and it depicts some of the challenges that the location had faced. Move to the next slide, please. Some people will say the highway worsened flood everywhere. No, it cannot worsen the ones in Ikeja, neither the one in Agege. Is it Mushi, Bagada? Just name it. It's not possible. Move to the next slide. Lagos flooding is isolated? No. Abidjan has seen this kind of flooding within the same period that we have seen. Accra has seen this. Many other West African countries have witnessed this. This proof flooding is regional, not project specific. Move to the next slide. And interestingly, what the Lagos State Climate Risk Assessment Comprehensive Report also forecasted what could happen. And so we want to take note of. Move to the next slide, please. Now, in terms of the drainage, that drainage should go to the Atlantic Ocean. The highway is blocking it. No. Lagos has never drained into the Atlantic, not in 1903, not in 1960, and certainly not today. Move to the next slide. The next slide will tell you that what the project itself has actually done. Prevent ocean incursion, reinforces Lagos' 100-year-old lagoon discharge strategy because of the technology that is being used. Move to the next slide. The next slide will give you some perspective on the comparative resilience. No ocean defense, clogged drains, tidal backflow, That was the situation before the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. With the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, ocean protection, underground drains, flap gates, elevated pavement highway, in fact, has provided resilience for all of us. Move to the next slide. And just to demonstrate that, look, this is Lafiaji area. We were there yesterday. And the rocks you are seeing is protecting the shoreline. Those rocks came there because of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, because the sea was already even threatening. Earlier, if you see what you have that is said, all gone, what you can see here, this was a nightmare for them. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, move to the next slide. I'll just flip through all of them just to say that geology, climate change, urbanization, waste mismanagement, governance gaps are the key drivers of this. Move to the next slide. Just continue to move. I will tell you to stop. We'll hold on here. Just hold on here. This is a nightmare. This is the new corridor, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. And because of our misbehavior, some of us, we are already clogging the drains. This is a nightmare. Why will it not flood? Why will the neighborhood not flood? Move to the next slide. Move to the next slide. Move to the next slide. Whatever we say, ladies and gentlemen, the long and short of it is that it has been identified that challenges in this location. What should we do? Waste management reform and operations, wetland protection and restoration, improve and integrated urban planning, and indeed full drainage master planning implementation. What about climate change adaptation measures, consistent enforcement and governance? We have also said we need to integrate green and nature-based ecosystem services into hard engineering solutions, including planting trees in public spaces. And that was what that Lagos Risk Assessment Report actually recommended. And just to add, that's one of the solutions. You can see we didn't say the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is one of the solutions because it is not one of the drivers. Move to the next slide, please. We all need to be part of this. This must be implemented together, not in isolation, and targeted where geology shows the greatest conflict between natural flow paths and built works. So, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, move to the last slide. Flooding. No. Before this, it's a real threat. It impacts lives. We all recognize that. Homes, businesses, and the entire coastal communities. But science is our first line of defense. Tools and indeed projects like the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway protect us. Misinformation weakens this protection and mislead public, especially when you have armchair criticism and myths. Just like tornado misinformation, it will lead to unsafe ground. Let's stay focused on facts. Every ESI exists to provide objective data, real risk, and practical mitigation solutions. And interestingly, every EIA has what we call environmental compliance monitoring. And the project is undergoing that. And the idea for that is to ensure that if you have recommended something yesterday and it's not working well, you retool because of the dynamics. And the project is undergoing that, ladies and gentlemen. Just to say that we all need to choose clarity and avoid confusion. We need to choose evidence and leave fear alone. What else? We need to choose solutions that protect you, that protect me, that protect our children. Can we all agree to do the work and move on? We should. Thank you very much.
Put our hands together for Dr. Eugene. Dr. Eugene, do you have the website where citizens can access to see this lecture? Dr. Eugene?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a website?
Yes, sir.
Can you say the website?
If you can, W. Take. www.lagos Echo Peter is ECOPITAL. ECOPITAL.com. COM. www.
Okay, write it and give it to them to put it on the screen. Okay. Can AEC please, just 5 minutes. AEC consultant before I take. AEC, are you ready?
Thank you.
5 minutes, please.
Thank you, Excellency. Good morning, Your Excellency. Please permit me to stand on all existing protocols. Is it possible to have the slide projected? Okay. Before the slide comes up, I would just like to speak through what everyone has been touching on this morning and the reason for which the Honorable Minister is in Lagos and the reason for which we are all gathered. First and foremost, as it has been established that the flooding on the communities adjoining the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is not caused by the highway itself. In fact, specifically, to speak to some of the immediate benefits of the highway at chainage 13 kilometers, the highway in itself has provided a belt, a coastal belt that is protecting already flooded areas along the coastline for more than 2 kilometers stretch between chainage 13 kilometers and chainage 15 kilometers. Technically, as engineering consultants, we've worked with Lagos State for quite a number of years, and we were part of the team that actually designed the master plan for drainage in Lagos State. And what the Honorable Minister has done with his team during the course of this exercise has actually brought to fore the importance of getting every stakeholder, both the federal government, the state government, and everyone who lives along this coastal highway to actually go back to what the original Bible, which is the master plan for drainage for Lagos, has been designed for. This map clearly shows some parts of this master plan, like the ESIA representative spoke about. The way and pattern for discharge for stormwater in Lagos, particularly along the coastline, is actually from the southern side to the northern side, meaning that communities living along the Lekki corridor, which is relatively flat, are expected to discharge water from the south up onto the north. In the map you can see currently right there, please can you bring up that map? You'll find some primary channels that exist along the entire Lekki corridor by the master plan. When the analysis was done for how the catchment sizes, yes sir.
The ray to point out what you are saying. Where is
Okay.
Dr. Eugene? Can you give him, please? So that people see the specific channel that you're talking about.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Please, can you bring up the map one more time? Thank you. Right. So the colors in red that you see are the primary discharge outfalls that have been designed in the master plan to take water from the southern side into the lagoon. And so this area where the cursor is at the moment is the Cowrie Creek that leads through the Lekki Koyi Bridge up onto the Lagos Lagoon. So flow is expected to go from the south here up onto the northern side. What the coastal road has done, like I said earlier, was that it has formed a belt along this entire line, just so as the Great Wall of Lagos has protected the VI side of Lagos. The coastal road is actually creating a belt that protects everywhere it passes through from erosion. This road has created a belt, a strong belt, because it's built on high embankment. And so it has created a belt that would not allow the ocean water with its current to erode all of the shorelines along this path. And so what must happen as a matter of responsibility, or what we have found out from our technical studies, is that the secondary channels within all of the community along the coastal road that are meant to discharge through systems of drainages and culverts into the lagoon. Some of these secondary drainages have major siltation problems. When I say siltation for a layman, I mean most of them have been filled with sand. We know a lot of construction activity happens along these belts, and sometimes indiscriminate, dumping of sand material, sometimes from the construction site and on the road. We all know, we witness these things every day. Accounts for the siltation of most of these drains. We've also found, of course, a prevailing problem that we're all aware about, the problem of indiscriminate dumping of refuse into some of these channels. Pictures will show you, we have some pictures on this slide that shows that. And so these channels have become clogged up. So whereas water is meant to flow from, most of the tenements into the secondary channels, and from the secondary channels, they're supposed to discharge into the primary channels and up onto the lagoon. This movement pattern is no longer occurring. And because, of course, the channels are clogged up, they are silted, and they are filled up with refuse. And because of this, water is not flowing. And permit me to say, which is also very important before I close, that the way, water flows, stormwater moves, particularly around Lagos, and in fact, engineering-wise, in most part of the world, for flat areas like this, is that water moves by gravity, meaning that water flows from areas of high, levels to areas of low-lying areas. And so the way we have designed the coastal road, for example, is that at every low point on the coastal road, there is something in engineering we call profile, meaning the way the road slopes, rises and falls. In the areas where the road falls, those are areas where you call low-lying areas or low points. What the coastal highway has done is to introduce culverts intermittently, both relief culvert and discharge culverts, that will take water from those low-lying areas. Communities around those low-lying areas are supposed to benefit from those low points such that their secondary drains can discharge into the culvert, as it is shown on this drawing, and then be able to discharge into the red lines. All the blue lines you see on this line diagram, maybe I should just explain for the sake of understanding. The green line itself is the coastal road in line diagram. The blue line running across are the culverts, taking water from the southern side up into the lagoon, which is the one in blue. And the communities around this whole area in the northern side, or those in the southern side, are supposed to discharge their water into these blue areas, such that the water is able to now go all the way to the lagoon. But then what we have found also as a major problem is that a lot of the communities here, which we'll still see in a video that will be shown, is that some of these tenements or development have been built way below, the finished level, or that is expected of such buildings, such that in some areas where the states have built road in between these localities, the roads are higher than the existing tenement. I can give you a typical example. Permit me to use a typical example this morning. And there is a road just by Ajiron, Agungi, for example, Agungi-Ajiron road, off the Lekki-Egba Expressway. There is a major channel that goes through that road that Lagos State is currently building, is the one in this CN. When we went to site, we found out that for us to be able to solve the problem of that community, just like every other community, there is a need for the road infrastructure to be raised. And by raising the road, you already know the impact on the community, because most people only built, to the level of the original ground level. By design, when the master plan for the Lekki corridor was done, there were specific heights, finished heights for buildings above mean sea level that everyone is expected to keep to, because our water is supposed to flow from high level down to the lagoon, which is lower than those areas. But we found out, that sometimes indiscriminately, people settle, for natural grounds, and they just build directly. You will see it in the video that will be shown very, very, very soon to prove that. And because of that, you find those that will come in on their own, that will build up on the hill, and some will build low down the hill on flat ground. When rainwater falls, because it's supposed to go from high to low, you realize that the lowest point within the community becomes a pond. And when that happens, there is uproar. Everybody thinks, oh, it's the road that has been built. No. Primarily, there is a finished level that has been defined by the master plan that everybody is supposed to adhere to. That's why it's a collective responsibility of both the federal, and that's why we have come together, the state, and even all developers or those who are building around the corridor, to ensure that when you're building, the right questions must be asked. To what level must I build my house or my home? To what level should the road be finished? So that at the end of the day, when we're introducing drainages, there is a natural flow across the entire system. Majorly, we have within the Lake Corridor, we have about 10 major channels, starting from the Freedom Way. Apart from the Koramo Waters, we have the Freedom Way channel, we have the Ikate channel, we have the Kushenla channel, we have the Nikon Spa channel, we have the Ikota channel, we have the Idokushus channel, we have the Agongi channel, we have the Chevron channel, and we also have the Ikota River channel, which has been on the press because sometimes you find that the Lagos State is always going there to demolish buildings along, these drainage paths. Let me say as I close this morning that most of these channels that have been identified in the master plan, and we have them all running across up onto Ekpe, according to what you see in this diagram, in cyan and in yellow. There is a capacity that these drainage outfalls must have in terms of being able to take care of a particular catchment location, meaning where people are living. You look at 1,000 building, they require this size of drain to be able to take all their discharge. Those channels, as designed, as much as possible, must be respected. The sizes must be adhered to. In areas where there have been compromises, we all jointly as a state must be able to come together and increase the capacity of these channels to be able to take the flow. Because when these analyses were done, they were done based on catchment sizes. And so it's our collective responsibility. I've come here this morning to be able to tell ourselves the truth, the gospel truth, to say we need to go back to the original designs. In areas where we need to increase the right of way of some of these channels, we need to do. And additionally, for emphasis, the Honorable Minister spoke to us when he came about 2-3 days ago, and is also bringing up, an addition to to enhance the efficiency of the coastal road by introducing a service corridor. I think it's important to mention that right now, because that service corridor will also enhance, will provide them with drains that will run along parallel to the coastal road.
AC.
Yes, sir.
Who are the people responsible for the audio? It's not very good. I'm not sure the echoing is too much. It's not your problem. I don't know who provided the... Can they do something about it?
Yes, it's very clear.
It's clear?
Oh.
What the AEC is saying is very simple. The coastal highway has been built. ESIA and design channel the water from the southern part of the ocean to the northern part of the ocean. And they were channel targeting the evacuation corridor of the channel of Lagos State government. Our job was done. That's what he's telling you. So in his analysis, you could see multiple culverts, almost an average of 50 meters, one per every 50 meters of the coastal highway. And so he has shown you those lines. Those lines you see, blue lines, are the, can you put back the coastal highway and the evacuation corridor? No, not this one, the other one. Yes, you see the coastal highway. Can I have that, this thing? I hope I can do it. Okay. You see the coastal highway, you see it is going like this. It has a covered crossing, from one carriageway to the other from the south. This is the ocean. So it is crossing from the ocean side to this side here. Now, these are the corridors designed by the Lagos State government, this rate, and the principle of evacuation of rainwater is that the rainwater, by law of Lagos State government, you can't drain the surroundings, your house to the ocean. You drain everything one to this lagoon. See this lagoon? You drain also to a stream. Look at the stream. The stream. That's the stream. You drain it. And what are the evacuation corridor? One is this. You see it's going to the lagoon. The next one has not been fully completed. You see this gap here. But you have another one that is like this to here. This one's supposed to stick to the coastal highway, but it's not yet completed. You see this one not started at all, this leg. But this is started. You can see the two legs onto the lagoon. Then this is also part of the Lagos master plan, but it's not yet constructed. This is also started, but not completed. It's completed in this section. And you can see this one going to the stream. So it's either it's going to this stream or it's going to the lagoon. That is the design. And so no design allegedly was that the coastal highway or the surroundings should drain water to this ocean. It's against the law of Lagos State government. But what this coastal highway has done is that by the reason of the level, which by ESIA, we have estimated within the next 30, 40 years and consequent upon the climate change, what will be the most likely adverse flood level of the ocean. And that is the level we added, factor of safety to design this coastal highway. So what he has done is what the Eco-Atlantic is doing for the Ahmad Bello Way. It is preventing the ocean surge, this ocean, from going into these, facilities that are here. So when people say, oh, this thing is, we have done our job, and we did it very well. And so there was no time our ESIA was going to go beyond this. Is to get, in any case, what are we talking about? We are draining the land and the buildings and the residential areas within the southern part of this coastal highway, because our culverts are located at the ground level. But most of these buildings here and even here, the DPC is very, very low. Most of the lands, they are not filled. When high-tech do this thing, you will see that in this corridor, the land that are filled, there is no flood there. But the ones that are not filled, you have flood. So, and also here, we are taking water from the residential areas, commercial areas here, and pass it across the coastal highway to here to now go through the evacuation corridor to this place. And so there was no time our job was going to be to now study everything beyond this evacuation corridor, because our job was done the moment we can, But in the next slide of high-tech, you will see how our people, Lagosians, are carrying refuse to block the culverts, are pouring refuse inside the manhole. They are using concrete to block the discharge point. But we have solution, and we have discussed with Lagos State government, and I quote him yesterday evening. He said, the flood, in Lagos has been there before the coastal highway. It was there yesterday, it's there today, it will also be there tomorrow. But we do everything possible, because it's a natural occurrence, to see what we can do to continue to combat, the flood problems in Lagos, because Lagos is founded on lowland, and this is what everybody must know. It's like the natural disasters, in other countries. You have the earthquake, you have the hurricane, you have very, terrible snow problems. They come once in a while. There is this tradition here in Lagos where the rain will fall continuously for 7 days. When that happens, we must expect flood. So in the next, high-tech distance, you will see a practical form. And after that, we tell you what we are going to do with Lagos State government. But if you want to make an omelette, you have to break an egg. This is very important. So of course, NIMET predicted that there will be floods, in Lagos and 26 other states. My state, in Ebonyi State, is flooding. my village is flooding. So we have to know that. So it's not everything because of politics. They say, oh, Coastal, why are you attacking it? Just 2 minutes we had to stay with the National Assembly. We saw a build-up of a hold-up up to 5 kilometers. Who are the people using it? Our people are using it. They're enjoying it. So those who attack Coastal Highway and attribute every negative happenings to the coastal highways, there are people that are born out of envy and jealous. They never believed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a man of audacity, is a dreamer, is an actualizer, and is a destiny president. So put your hands together, people. So AEC, please upload. Let's get a common website. Call it a website, Coastal Highway website, or the Director, PAM Secretary, Minister of Works hearing me. Let us have one website to upload all the activities of the 4 Legacy Project of Mr. President. So I expect this erudite young engineer that I'm very proud of, what they're doing, to please upload it in that website so that Lagosians and Nigerians will have a benefit of understanding it. But we are up to the task. The work is there, and together with Lagos State Government, we shall do it. So can we have high-tech, please, to display? MD, thank you very much. If the problem is the mic, can we change the mic?
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Please pay deep attention to this presentation. It's practical, it's realistic, it is up to date of the situation of the Coastal Highway. So pay great attention, because if you're a landlord, you'll be able to see by the reason of the solution that we are proposing with Lagos State Government, if your house will be affected. And let me make it very clear. It's not the responsibility of federal government to acquire, this thing, or, say this house will be demolished or not. It is the responsibility of the state government, and they have been the one doing it. Our job, as directed by the president, is to pay compensation in line with the federal government rates as gazetted. So please pay attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Good afternoon, everybody. Your Excellency, this video can show what is on ground as of yesterday, and we can speak a little bit about it. This area is by nature of building. It's lower than the northern side. For ease of reference, let us take that the Atlantic Ocean is on the southern side of the coastal highway, and the lagoon is at the northern side of the coastal highway in order to have the proper directions. So if you look at this particular point, the coastal highway has been constructed with the cross culverts to take the water from the southern part to the northern part of the coastal highway. This area was built without respecting the norms by not elevating or filling the area. It was built just to be built immediately. The cross culverts were built in order to divert the water from the southern side to the northern side of the coastal highway. And once you will visit the sites, and if you have any access to that area, you will see that the culverts were constructed at the lowest point possible in order to divert that water from the south to the north. With the directives from the ministry represented by His Excellency, We have started some palliative repairs within the estate, and we are going to do the road networks there just to have some ease of transportation, whereas we will see how we can rearrange together with the ministry and the residents some of the filling in that area. Meanwhile, there is a place where there was a natural lake over there, Your Excellency, and you instructed yesterday that that lake to be reinstated, which High-Tech will be gladly willing to assist. Now, between what His Excellency has described and spoke about, and with the experts from the ESIA as well as the consultants, this video will be self-explanatory. If you look at the water on both sides of the expressway, and this is the carriageway leading westbound from, if you want to make directions from Eleko towards VI. The water has to be moving from the south to the north, as I described earlier, but if you look at it properly, you will see the water is stagnant. It means that there is no any discharge of the water from the northern side towards the lagoon. And this is beyond the coastal highway. Most of these areas were blocked by refuse and in the absence of adequate drainage to take the water all the way to the lagoon or to the major waterways. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you can see the refuse on both sides of the road. Those refuse, they are there despite the fact that the ministry, together with the contractor High-Tech, we have removed over 1 million cubic meters of refuse from that area. And those refuse, they are still persisting there. It means that there is no discipline in our discharge of refuse. We have to respect the environment for the environment to assist us. We need to clean all the waterways. We need to clean all the areas. We need to clean all the culverts. If we don't clean it, water will be always stagnant. What you are seeing now, Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, is estates being flooded on the northern side of the corridor. You can see the corridor of the expressway. And on the northern side, all this area does not have anything to do with the coastal highway. This area should, by nature and by law of Lagos State, should be discharged naturally directly to the lagoon side. And you can see all the waterlogged areas which does not have anything to do with the coastal highway. I'm not here to defend the coastal highway. There are more experts to defend that. I'm here just to show facts and videos describing what's happening within the estates far away from the coastal highway. Some of the areas that are located southern side of the coastal highway, they were built on low terrain. Once you have a permit to build your buildings, your infrastructure, your house, you should immediately think of how to discharge your water based on the laws and rules of Lagos State government, which means that you have to raise your land, take it by gravity to wherever there is an outlet. So if you see within all the areas by the south of the coastal highway, you can see some of the areas that has been filled. They are fully dry, whereas the areas that are still naturally without any filling, you will see the water cannot climb upward. And we cannot put a culvert at the lowest point, because then the road will lose its own purpose and the drainage will lose its own purpose. So you can see all those areas, they are on the northern part of the coastal highway, which we can no longer be in control of it. So this video, Your Excellency and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this video is self-explanatory and it shows exactly what is happening before and after the coastal highway on the southern side and the northern side of the coastal highway. I want to use this medium to say that most of our culverts has been blocked. We have instructed all our teams to open all the additional blocked drainages and culverts. We will do so with the assistance of the federal government, in the presence of the controller on ground. We will clean all those areas and we will try to, as much as we can, to maintain it throughout the cycle with the assistance of the federal government represented by the controller, as I said. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
MD of High Tech, thank you very much. You will be able to get set to make your remarks or ask your questions, but let's invite the Director, Minister of Environment, actually the headmaster of the ESIA program.
Honorable Minister of Works, sir, and the Honorable Minister of State, distinguished chairman of Senate and House of Rep committees on environment, and multi-grade works daily. Other distinguished Nigerians hereby present, our esteemed royal fathers, I bring you the good and the warm greetings of the Honorable Minister of Environment, who is unavoidably absent. I don't want to waste much of our time, but I just want to state some facts so that you will know that the AIA process is not taken for granted. There's a clause in the AIA process that empowers the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to give a waiver for any project that has overriding interest all over the country. But permit me to tell you that no president has ever activated this clause till this day because of the respect they have for the good people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So how do we ensure sustainable development and that the social engagement is inclusive? Let me ride with you. One, we ensure that the site assessment is done with the relevant states, in this case. Okay, thank you. Can you all hear me? In this case, Lagos State government and the relevant local government areas. Also, the experts panels are carefully selected to make sure that men and women of integrity. Their recommendation is also reviewed in-house before approval. I've heard stories online that said the construction started before the certificate was issued. You are all aware that when you do site clearing during the rainy season, you have more adverse impacts than when it is done during the dry season. The panel has concluded its work, has recommended an approval, and was approved before that interim approval was granted to the Ministry of Works for them to embark on site clearing. This was done in the interest of the good people of Lagos State, because the consequences and the adverse impacts would have been worse or higher if it is done during the rainy season. There's a caveat in the AIA Act also that stipulates public notice for 21 working days that allow distinguished Nigerians to make input into the AIA process. We are happy that this is being done, and we would have been happier if this kind of awareness was given to that public notice, which was also highlighted or raised in the news media, including several radio stations. One of the things, Honorable Minister of Works, sir, one of the challenges we're having in the AIA process is the apathy of the youth to, despite their digital education, to read documents that are on public display for them to contribute their quota to national development. We usually have more elderly men and women in the House. I want to charge you, distinguished Nigerians who are in this room, to change the narrative. One of the things that is also, the EIA approval has several conditions that the project has to comply with. And this is appropriately monitored. One of its such is continual engagement of stakeholders. And this is one of these in response to disaffection or criticisms, so that we can be sure that what we're doing is in the interest of the public. The monitoring process, which is done on a quarterly basis, has never been hindered by any government authority, ministry, or department. The Federal Ministry of Work has been in compliance, and let me tell you, it's not free. They pay for it like other distinguished Nigerians. And so far, we have discovered that the flooding is what we'll need to look into. Before we can ascribe the flooding to the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, we need to be sure that it is backed up by scientific evidence. And to this end, the Ministry of Environment is working in-house with the departments and other implementing agencies on flood management to ensure that appropriate studies are done to determine the remote and immediate causes and ensure that your concerns are sustainably addressed so that we can have a more sustainable development. Should you have any other question or contribution, I will be on standby to answer them. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was telling National Assembly yesterday when we went through the Coastal Highway and we saw the problems, as if it were in a debating society. Say with these points, I want to, say that Coastal Highway is not a problem of the flooding within the corridor, but it's a solution. And so you've seen all the presentation, the experts, those who are in charge. And now what we have not talked about, which we talk about it now, is what are the solution to working with Lagos State Government. The Lagos State Government representative will speak in a minute, but one of the solutions that we are going to be looking at, that is within the power of Lagos State Government and ourselves, is that we must have to construct service lane by the side of the Coastal Highway. And now, if you want to bring the service lane to the level of the Coastal Highway, it becomes a problem because the people put their DPC without proper ESI assessment. Because if you're building, you have to think about what happens to climate change in the next few years. And so a lot of the buildings within this corridor are way below the flood level, So otherwise, you would have, been recommending that we build the service lane the same level with the Coastal Highway, but it will submerge many buildings. That is number one. So, meaning that buildings that are very close to the Coastal Highway, by reason of putting a service lane, we have to give way. But that is the job of Lagos State Government, where we pay compensation as usual. But I want, residents to bear this in mind. And so you want to make an omelette, you have to break an egg. So this egg is that the buildings that will be less than, 15 meters from the foot of the Coastal Highway, we definitely have to go. Because we will be constructing, with the minimum width standard of the road to be 10.3, but we need also big channel on both sides of the route. So that service lane will be built within the level of the existing surrounding. That is the solution. And also in every superhighway, you cannot come from your yard, from your residence, and engage this superhighway. It's not possible. So by doing this, we will ensure that all the interchanges, that's the overpass, the underpass, that's the flyovers, that you can only engage the superhighway through these interchanges. And so, yeah, thank you. So it's going to be a decision of the landowners, the Lagos state government, and this. But this is one of the key, solutions to draining a lot of the corridor. That's one. Number two, all the Lagos state government evacuation channels that are stopped, must be completed. And it has to be desilted. And people must stop dumping refuse there. Now, it is a criminal offense for you to go and use concrete or to use, refuse to dump, within this drainage channel. So the CP is here, and the AC operation is here. So we are directing that if you go to any corridor and you see people using, refuse dump or using concrete to block the channel, they should be arrested and prosecuted. It's a national disaster and it's economic sabotage. So if you are living within the manhole, if you are living within the culvert, we have entrusted it in your hands. So it has to be clean at all time. If it is not clean or something is dumped on it, we have to, hold you responsible. And I believe that the controller of Lagos is hearing me. And so will we forgive all those who have dumped refuse? Will we forgive those who have used concrete without any fear to block the coastal highway? That is very terrible. You can see our culvert as low as this. You can see the height of our road. You can see we have built this culvert to take water from the surroundings. And then it goes down to the northern part of the coastal highway to discharge to the evacuation. You can see this, how people are now dumping, refuse inside the manhole. You can see that people are allowing, cows and goats to eat up the trees, ornamental trees we are planting, that we help to break down the ocean wind and safeguard, lives and property. So, you see, you can sit in the comfort of your house and do all these things and turn around and they blame President Tinubu or blame the Minister of Works. But the truth remains that we all have responsibility, to make lives and the property to be better for every one of us. But if you continue to blame everything and you continue to shit inside a gutter where you are staying, you continue to block the road, will we do our part? Because we all have a responsibility before God. So it is very important that the residents of Lagos State, we take this matter very seriously. Let me assure you that flood in Nigeria is due to climate change, and Lagos is very low-lying land, and over 40% of Lagos State is water. So it is very important for us to know this, but if you don't want to know, you continue to call us out. Will we also be responding to you? That is very, very important. So this is what we are proposing to do. 2 service lanes, both left and right. Nobody will engage the superhighway, from his house or from any, residential quarters. Those outlets we have made, we made it for life to be easy for you. But that's not the intention. The intention is that if you place your throttle at Amabelo Way, coming into President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, coastal highway from section 1, you put your throttle, then you will release your throttle at Calabar. That is the idea of this. That's the idea of it. So we ensure that the objective of the president is achieved. And if it's not achieved, don't blame the president, blame me. Blame me and my, brother. That is very important. Don't call out the president. You have to call me out. But we do everything possible. The National Assembly members are also here. They will speak to ensure that the good desire of the president will happen. Some candidates of other parties say, if I come, I will stop this coastal highway. And the Nigerians are already, very much aware. Nigerians are already thinking, this is an investment. This is creating jobs. This is helping the climate change. Will we get a carbon credit on the road, the concrete road, because it has low, heat emission? Will we get carbon credit from the plant we are, putting there? Will we get carbon credit from the solar light, different from the conventional electricity? All this will generate carbon credit. Not only that, the distance between Ebonyi State and Lagos State is shortened. So commerce is increased. Life is made better. That is the essence of it. And so for those that think that the infrastructure, the degree of infrastructure must happen in other sectors at the same time, that is illusion, because it's the infrastructure that is the sector that other sectors will rely on to grow. But the president is growing education. For the first time, 24 universities of Nigeria are being recognized worldwide. A lot of people are accessing medical care free of charge. The Neflon Fund is there. For the first time, we have 6, beautiful men and women that are, not content creators, they are community creators, by the president, who go from one community to other, empower the people, educate them what the president is doing, and then, be a very serious source of succor, to the people. Our GDP is growing, at a higher rate than our population. Time will fail me to say what the president is doing. But these 4 legacy projects are investment projects that are also connecting, to all the ongoing projects. We inherited 2,068 ongoing projects, worth 13 trillion by 2023. And you can imagine with the removal of fuel subsidy, by the removal, floating of the naira, you should know what the distance. And this man, this divine man, this president, this audacity man, has been able to carry on with all these projects. And then somebody is saying hunger. What is hunger? If everybody is working by the reason of what we are creating. In America, Obama made, a recessed economy. And it started with infrastructure. Infrastructure creates opportunity for those who are, frying akara, for those who are selling chipping, for those who are selling sand, for those who are selling rods. Everything is, within the destiny. In fact, this concrete is our own content creator. That is our own content creator. And we must tell the story. I want all APC members to tell the story. This man has done what, no any other president ever did. This man has the audacity and the welfare of the people at heart. What this man is doing is recreating the ugly past. And so we have to support him. We have to tell our story. There is a committed, effort by some people building their own content creation to undermine the great work the president is doing. But we will not allow it. We sharpen our mouth. They tackle us, we tackle them. Okay? The obedient us, we tinable them. We assuage them. So we can't keep quiet. Let them tell us what they have achieved in their place. Somebody was telling me when we had a small debate, P2B left $50 million, he left 180 this. I said to him 2 things. Obiano, said, look, you left this money in the bank, but look at the contractors you are owing. So by the time he took the money and paid the contractors, everything was in the negative. But that is not the story. The story is that there was a story in the Bible of a businessman, a rich man, that was going on, on a tour vacation, and he called his servants. This one he gave this amount. This one he gave this amount. This one he gave this amount. Go and trade with it and make profit. And when he came back, the first one said, "You gave me this. This is what I brought. This one gave me this. This is what I brought." Then one of them, who instead of using the money to create airports, to create durable roads, to create a seaport, to create industries other than brewery, He said, look, I know whom you are. I have had to put your money in the bank because you reap where you didn't sow. And so the man said, oh, if you knew that I was this, why did you take up the responsibility of being the governor of my state? And so you can't be serving when the people are hungry, when there is no industry, when the roads are like pepero, so you can't be doing AI politics. This is very important. So we have to support the president. We have to pray for him. You see this second tenure, God already ordained it. So we allow Lagos State government representative to speak, and this take it as my speech. And I want to also let you know that the governor has done very well. He has worked with us assiduously in achieving the desire of the president, and we are in talk with him about land within the corridor so that we can also do concessioning so as to bring CCTV camera, as to bring security, patrol, parking lots, relieve stations, a place you can come and relax, tourism, industries, factories, housing estate. They will all be along the corridor from the point of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu Coastal Highway at VI down to Calabar. There will be, So this is very important. So I commend very highly Lagos State government, the governor, and all the people that are working, for him and with him. We are very proud of what you are doing, and together we will definitely solve the problems that are natural, and not occasioned by any of our deeds. The Lagos State government rep, please.
If you are clapping, please clap very well for His Excellency. Clap very, very, very well for His Excellency. I invite the representative of Lagos State government, Engineer Mahmood Adegbite, the Permanent Secretary, Office of Drainage Services, Ministry of the Environment. Another round of applause for him. For 2 minutes, sir. 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Honorable Minister, distinguished Mayor, Commissioners, and everyone. Danny, I recognize you. Eugene. I dare say, Honorable Minister, sir, your first life, you will probably be a salesman. Your first life. Because you have sold the highway so beautifully. However, I will say that on one hand, you caused the problem, and on the other hand, you've given us a very good solution to it. So, what I will say, Eugene, when you presented the ESI, you made everything beautiful, but you forgot one thing. We raised so many observations at the public presentation, which was not included. If we had included all those things, maybe by now, the slip road and everything will have been included, and by now, everything will have been very, very beautiful, just as you wanted it. So that slip road, which will now have the major channels, will probably solve most of these things we are talking about. And then also, I noticed while the MD ITEC was making his presentation, some of the culverts that were made need to be connected to our own channel. Granted, the issue of solid waste management, the issue of, you can see, is an ongoing thing. If you notice, Lagos State is now working 24/7 on tackling, and that is one of the things you see in major cities. But notwithstanding, particularly if we face the coastal highway corridor, you will notice that some of those things you've done needed to be connected to our channel, which we have provided the solutions. We have given you those, the networking and also the connection points. So I believe that by the time we do everything together, we will be able to solve not only the southern problem as well as the northern problem. So talking about every other thing, We have embarked on so many cleaning. We have embarked on maintenance of all the channels in the state. So within the next 2-3 weeks, those things you've mentioned will be solved. But I want us to pay attention to one thing, Kuramo Waters. Kuramo Waters is a very, very important hydrological entity that must not be filled. I've noticed that there's some feeling that is going on around that area, which I believe that the federal government is not in any way taking that into consideration.
We have stopped it. It's another Prince Adeyemi, because the person presented, the receipt from Lagos State government, that they sold the place to them. The Surveyor General is here, so he had to go and stop them. So our hands are not there, but our hands are there that no matter who, nobody will fill that place.
Thank you very much, because it is a very, very important drainage infrastructure that solves part of the problem within Victoria Island. Because if we allow that to happen, I can tell you that half of Victoria Island will also be gone by now. So essentially, the slip road is one of the things that I want us to pay more attention to, and also to engage us. Because what I've noticed, one of the things that we raised was we requested for sectional dimensions and all that of that road initially. And those are the series of letters that we've written. But now that you mentioned it, we will work together and then we will make sure that all those things are solved. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You've spoken very well. What we have done is that we brought in a consultant, high-tech home people, technical people, Minister of Environment, Minister of Works. We have a team, and we are set to go. Then you give us your team, like we agree with your governor, and then together we now come up with a design. The evacuation corridor must be brought close to our discharge point for it to discharge, because we have limitation in terms of funding, in terms of the scope of our work. So we have to work together. What you can do, you do, and the help we can offer, we have. Because this slip road you are talking about is the responsibility of Lagos State government. But as a father, we will come in to look at you, how you deliver the baby. Will we have a SSA to make a comment? 1 minute. Says come up and back her up. All the SSA to the president. You are doing good job for the president. So we'd like.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Works, Engineer Dave Umahi. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of State for Works, Honorable Bello Goroyo. Distinguished Chairman, Senate Committee on Works. Distinguished Chairman, House Committee on Works. Distinguished Senators, our ever-eloquent House of Representative members present here, my wonderful colleagues from all regions, the Surveyor General of the Federation, MD ITEC and his great team, the indefatigable staff of the Federal Ministry of Works, my wonderful sisters and brothers of the Community Engagement Team, I cite you all, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, our wonderful community leaders. I would also like to pay wonderful recognition to the wonderful corporate bodies. Permit me to recognize Barrister Hunduka, who has been able to mobilize his wonderful colleagues from the law firm, Simon Coopers and the Chambers. Thank you very much for your presence here. Your Excellency, sir, the audience has about 50% audience of young people. Permit me to rejig this stakeholders meeting a bit. Good afternoon, everybody. Please, I want us to stand up and say this to ourselves. Nigeria will be great. Please tell your neighbor, Nigeria will be great. I will do right by Nigeria. In my lifetime, I will travel by road from Lagos to Kano in 10 hours. I said in this our lifetime, we will travel by road from Lagos to Kano in 10 hours. We will travel from Lagos to Calabar in 6 hours in this lifetime. Say it to yourself. Keep saying positive things. In this lifetime, we will travel by road and there will not be any form of insecurity. Thank you very much. Please sit down. Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Works, I would like to thank you most especially for your support to the community engagement team. Your Excellency, you have seen our office as a pivotal value to the infrastructural and road development of our country. As your goddaughter, Your Excellency, I have learnt greatly from you about collaboration and multi-stakeholder inclusion. And this has taught me a lot in governance. Your Excellency, I will be with you forever, and I promise you that I will continue to walk in your footsteps and learn from you assiduously. You are a leader in deed and in truth and in doings. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Dear Lagosians, my name is Moremi Ojudu, and I'm the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Community Engagement Southwest. With me here are my wonderful colleagues who represent the other regions of the Federation of Nigeria. You can all see that we are the faces of the 6 regions of our great continent, of our great country, Nigeria. Our president sent us to you, Babawa, Arewa, Ashiwajuwa, the city boy indeed, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He sends you all warm greetings and he says we should greet you all. And thank you so much for your patience with him, and he promises you all that he is not going to relent on his services and his wonderful works to this country, Nigeria. The president is on an intentional and visionary trail to change the face of infrastructural developments in Nigeria and Lagos states. I can attest to this through his bold economic decisions, his nationalistic integration through the creation of regional commissions and the regional community engagement offices. Worthy of note are the Renewed Hope Legacy projects, which includes the following: Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Sokoto-Badagry Highway, Akwanga-Jos Highway, Calabar-Abuja Highway, and many more roads that are being constructed across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country simultaneously. If you go around, tẹ́ bá lọ sí agbègbè wa, ẹ máa rí pé ó ti ṣe Lagos-Ṣàgámù Highway náà. Tẹ́ bá lọ sí agbègbè wa, ẹ máa rí pé ọ̀nà Ewékòró, Pápálàtó, wọ́n ti ń ṣe o, wọ́n ti ń tún gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣe lágbègbè wa. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ ṣí president wa látẹ̀wọ́. On your mandate we shall. Much. Please sit down. Dear Lagosians, our dear community leaders, our infrastructure and roads cost monies in billions. A lot of energy, a lot of monies are being expended to do these things. We have not slept in over a week, touring the whole country and ensuring that a lot of attention is being paid to our roads. Please, we beg of you, do not destroy our collective properties. Please do not destroy it. I want to pay attention. I want us to pay attention to the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway particularly. A lot of people are destroying the retaining walls.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm almost done, sir. I just want to say this. Just 1 more minute,
no
sir.
time again.
Our people constitute huge mess on these roads. They disfigure the roads. The designated areas for flood channels, they have turned into shelter camps. Government is beautifying our environment through planting trees. And these our goats, cows, and sheep are eating all of our flowers. Please, Nigerians, Nigeria is our collective responsibility. Let's protect it collectively. Say something, report destruction. Critique the appropriate person. Nigeria will be great in our lifetime. God bless Nigeria and God bless Lagos State. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Our headmaster, House Committee Chairman, Works, Right Honorable Akina Lavi, please.
Honorable Minister, Senator Dave Umahi, Honorable Minister of State, Barrister Goronyo, other ministers represented here, the contractors, high-tech, the directors of the Ministry of Works, my colleagues from the National Assembly, special mention to the Senate Committee Chairman on Works, Senator Orwell Onyeso, and my deputy, Right Honorable Usman Murtala Banye from Katsina State. I bring you good tidings from the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, GCON. I want to start by thanking the Honorable Minister for carrying the Parliament along on this journey. I've mentioned it a couple of times, but it's important to mention it again. Because if he didn't carry us along on this project, what we'll have done is later in the week raise the motion on the House, the motion in the House, the motion passes, the committee meets, we set a date to come. But we have gone past all that for the mere fact that he invited us to be here today. And that is a lesson to all heads of agencies in Nigeria and all the ministers. It's important to carry the Parliament along in what you do. So thank you, Honorable Minister, for making our job easier. Now, the angle I'm going to come from is what I spoke on when we were on the road yesterday, because we, as you've heard already, we were on the coastal road to look at these problems. And a lot of technical stuff have been said. So what I want to say is that I want to appeal to everyone. I want to appeal to all journalists, all broadcasters, all OAPs, all social media influencers, and everyone that has got an audience. You see, people like to listen to people with audience. So when you have an audience, be it in your TV studio, radio studio, or behind your social media account, please, you can't be an expert at everything. There's a saying that beware of the man that is naked that wants to give you a shirt. There are other kinds of men you should be afraid of. And one of the kind of men you should be afraid of is the man that claims to know everything. When you are talking about sports, they are there. Entrepreneurship, they are there. Religion, they are there. Geopolitics, they are there. So people want to listen to people with audience. So when you just come out and make layman's pronouncements, people will believe you. Oh, it's flooding, it's coastal road that is causing flooding. No, you've heard from experts. And even if you don't believe the experts that spoke today, it is better to consult your own experts before you tweet, before you go on air to mislead the public. If anything at all, it has been proven that the coastal road is actually helping with the flood situation in Lagos. I know this is a political time, and those trying to take over from us in 2031 will be saying different things. I'm not talking about 2027 again anyway, I'm talking about 2031. Those that are trying to take over from us, they're going to say a lot of things. But please, let's be as responsible as we can, because we shouldn't heat up the polity. I've heard some presidential aspirants say they're going to halt the coastal road. So I'm going to close by saying a prayer.
The coastal road has nothing to do with the flooding of Lagos. I also want to thank the minister and the president for their willingness to join with the government of Lagos State to ensure that whatever it will take to alleviate the problem of flooding in Lagos, whether or not it's caused by the coastal road, that they are willing to do something. And Minister, I want to thank you for that. Take that to Mr. President. Tell him the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is with him. And whatever you need us to do as a legislative house, we shall do it. So once again, I want to thank the government of Lagos State and the people of Lagos State for their very warm understanding of what is going on. So thank you, all of you, and we bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and we bless Lagos State. Thank you.
Okay, we are now questions and answers. If you want to ask question, please make it very brief. If it is a remark, it should even be more brief. Who are our people down? Can they give the mic? Dare, can you be fast about it? The man in front, please.
Thank you very much, sir. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The Honorable Minister, the Chairman Senate Committee on House.
Because of time, by court protocol, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Now, the subject matter is issues that border on erosion within Lagos State. We that tends to be stakeholder with the virtue of our origin, it will interest you to know that Morocco was demolished just because of issue of erosion. 13th of July, 1990. My father owns the biggest house in Morocco then. And when the Sanfilling of Morocco was established, it was filled above the sea level with quantum of about over 5 billion cubic of sand. People that were given allocation do not bother to procure sand to build their houses. They embark on the same sand that was used in Sanfilling to construct their houses as at that time. And that was exactly what causes the low and the flooding we have right now. But put that in record and not rhetoric. The issue right now is the blockage of our drainage. Lagos State Ministry of Environment. We shouldn't be reactive. We should be proactive. I'll plead with you, form environmental degradation task force. Name it EDIT or EDIT. People that you arrest, yes, we say we don't have prison to place them. But we have Ministry of Agric with farms looking for workers. Send them to 6 months to go and work in our farm. If they can pay, find them, generate money to pay your workers. The third one, sir, the drainage channel dredged by Channel 32. Thank you, ITEC. I will plead with you, if it's possible, immediately after the service road, dredge straight down to that channel and passes all the water down to that as Kurama will serve for Victoria Island. Thank you for want of time. Thank you very much.
Please keep it very short because of time, please.
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister. It's good to see you again. Thank you so much for the work being done on the coastal road. My name is Jido Dusholu, and I'm developer of Ocean Bay Estate, one of the communities that you had to visit when you started and we were dragging over the pain that it was going to cause. Indeed, the road has been a magnificent positive. However, there's one problem, and that's the fact that most of Lekki, as we all know, consists of wetlands. You also are aware of this.
I'm not getting anything, no.
Consists of wetlands, and you are aware of this. And the truth of the matter is...
Where is the press secretary? Can you come up, get these papers and give out? People may also write down their questions very quickly.
So if you look at...
Can you come closer here to... give me more plain sheets. Hold
Can
on,
I continue,
take more
sir?
plain sheets.
Oh, you want me to come closer?
Can you please make it short?
Yes, I was saying, as you're aware, all the good work you've done so far and the tremendous advantages of the coastal road. Because Lekki is a wetland, what has happened is most of the estates, typically in the past, their runoff water would go into all those areas that have now essentially been cut off. Now, what Lagos State needs to do, for example, if you look around Orchid Road, there's a canal that's behind it that leads to VGC. And there's a lot of work being done to build channels, drain channels, but it needs to be fast-tracked because until those channels are linked, all the places that are massively affected, from where you have conservation center around the Ologolo, all those places where people are crying now, there is nowhere for their water to go.
Okay.
So that needs to be worked on. Thank you.
You're repeating us. We've told you the problems not curated by us. We've told you the challenges. We've told you how to solve it. I don't want to repeat myself, but the evacuation channels must be desilted and then brought closer to the coastal highway by Lagos State government. Then there will be drainage both sides of the coastal highway built parallel to the coastal highway within the level of the surrounding buildings, and then put a service route by the side of it. And some houses will definitely have to go. So that's the solution, and they will be working with Lagos State government, helping them to solve their own problems.
Good day, everybody. My name is Chief Akindele Ojukwe from Eleko Ibejuleki Axis. My observation is that along the corridor there are some patches of flood as you're driving, and it drags people's vehicle. Sorry, my voice is cracking. So when you drive into the flood patches, it swabs the vehicles, and I noticed 3 different accidents last week when the rain fell. It involved 3 different vehicles. They just run into the patches and lose control.
Flood patches. He's talking about some of the water we have on the road.
Closer now.
He's talking about some of the water we have on the road that we are trying to... Yes.
The water we...
On the road, on the carriageway. He's talking about the water, some of the water we have on the carriageway.
It's our problem. The flat chase of a little girl has plants. It's our problem. We will solve it.
All right, sir.
Yes.
Honorable,
Give some ladies.
Honorable Minister.
Can some of them write it down? Go ahead, please.
Honorable Minister, I'm here to your left. Thank you very much. Thanks for having this gathering. And first and foremost, I want to commend you for always having these public engagements. I give you a round of applause for that, amongst all the ministers in Nigeria doing that. Thank you very much. However, I'm representing or speaking on behalf of my community in Ilason, close to the Mayegun Igbokushu Silverbed Road. I live in an estate. By this weekend, we'll make it 10 years I've been staying there, and it has never been flooded the way it did last week and 2 weeks ago. However, I agree with you that the coastal road in emphasis is not the problem causing the flooding. It is actually the manhole. And I have videos on my phone which I can show you. We have a manhole behind the wall we created at the end of our estate and the wall the high-tech created. There is a large expanse in between that a drainage can be built from there straight to, which is less than 1.5 kilometers, to the Mayegun Igbokushu Canal. And it's unfortunate I have to come out publicly because we don't like talking about our problems with government.
Let me tell you something.
Yes, sir.
nobody should drag us to do beyond our scope. The amount of rain that is being collected on our pavement,
yes,
is the same amount of rain that was on that location before the construction of the coastal highway.
I agree with you.
Are you hearing me?
Yes.
So if the intensity of the rainfall is X, that X, if it increases in Ikeja, it increases in VI. So it is the duty of Lagos State government, and that's what they have told you. The man came here and spoke. You say, listen, will we complete the evacuation corridor? Will we link the drainages? And the most important thing is to construct parallel drainage,
yes,
where all these covers will be linked. So the coastal highway is meant to help the residents, because
definitely,
when you construct that, then they will empty their distance, pass it through this, and then through the evacuation corridor.
Honorable Minister, that is what I have come to speak about, to connect the manhole.
Oga, we have over 5,000 culverts. It is only the drainage parallel to the coastal distance that can connect all this and then discharge it and connect again.
The manhole to us is discharging into our
streets.
streets.
You do it by yourself.
No problem, sir.
Yes. Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister, once again, as he said, we are grateful for the privilege of this engagement. Now, speaking on behalf of Lekki Estates Residents and Stakeholders Association, on behalf of our President, Laji Suleiman Bello, some of our key members that are also here today, we want to appreciate the good work the President and you have done for our area. But beyond that, sir, we've heard you talk about the refuse. We have heard you talk about the concrete dumping, all the different things different people are doing to sabotage the effort that is being put in the coastal highway project. We wanted to let it, be made, let you know, sir. Earlier today we were in a meeting, an engagement with very esteemed AIG, Assistant Inspector General of Police, who is also here. So we appreciate you, sir. Most of the time, please appreciate him. He's doing a wonderful job for the coastal highway. Most of the time, we have these communities. I saw one estate is there talking, another estate is there talking, and another community is also talking. So we have this umbrella association that speaks for all of the estates, all of the communities, from 1004 going to the border with Ebe. And we ask, I think it would be a wonderful thing for there to be some measure of engagement with your people and our people, so that if there has to be a messaging going out, let it be that we are speaking in one voice. Let it be that we are recognizing what you're doing, the efforts that you're putting in.
I don't know why I'm not following you.
Okay, so what I'm saying is...
Can you come closer and then make it very short?
Honorable Minister, Your Excellency, I am saying, sir, we have an umbrella body that speaks for all of the estates, communities that reside within 1004 estates to Ebe. That is largely the area that Coastal Highway covers. Rather than having different communities, different estates coming to you with one problem or the other, I want to suggest that you can have a team that will engage with us directly, so that you can have the people on the ground, us that are on the ground, the foot soldiers, we can be a mouthpiece communicating the good work that you're doing. But I mean, somebody cannot say they have not seen the good work. Our properties have increased in value because of the coastal highway, and we cannot deny that. So, Mr.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, the
what you are saying is we should have a team to engage you, to be our mouthpiece. Very important, but let the coastal highway be our mouthpiece. They are speaking for us. The point is very simple. Everything we are saying is to help the people, and we are going to help the people working with Lagos State government. So we don't need a team to let the citizens know that they shouldn't dump refuse. They shouldn't build on it. There is a law of Lagos State government. Let us obey the law. Let the traditional rulers, the community people, arrest those who are dumping refuse. We have responsibilities to, do. Because federal government must not come and set up a committee to start looking for those who are dumping refuse, or state government. No. You can take your phone and call the Ministry of Environment. This, my neighbor has blocked this thing. People are removing the cover of the manhole and dumping this thing. So the government can do what they can do, but the citizens, for their own interest and health, must all do what they can do. This is very important. The last question, is it?
Good afternoon, Honorable Minister. All protocols duly observed. Okay, now that we are aware that they are considering constructing a service lane, especially on the south side, I would like to ask just two questions. How soon can we expect this service lane?
As soon as you pay your tax.
Okay, that's fine. Then, secondly, by the time the service lane is constructed, I believe there's going to be a service lane drainage. So can a process be put in place so that the estates on the corridor can connect their internal drainage to the service lane drainage, like maybe proper communication and possibly sensitization?
Yeah, that is the idea. And that's why Lagos State government is their responsibility. So the channel is going to be a little bit fat, so that the citizens can connect their drain. By right, nobody ought to be given, if you are in estate, you must have, a secondary, evacuation corridor to the primary evacuation corridor before approval is given to you. These are some of the problems. We must have to say, oh, this is my building plan. Then we will check the highest flood level. We can gauge the highest flood level, in the next 20, 30, 50 years. And then you ensure that the DPC is above that flood level. And so when you submerge your building and then you start crying, there are limitations of what government can do when you have caught yourself, to size. This is very important. So the channel is going to be, but let me put a vote to you to construct this drainage, which will evacuate your distance, working with Lagos State government, and to construct the service lane, which you can engage from your residence, through the interchange of the superhighway. Will you agree that anybody whose house is within that corridor, that the house will have to go? Those in support say aye. Aye. Is there anybody against it here? Okay, for overriding public interest and by the law of the federal government and state government, it has to happen. It has to happen. This is very important. Do we have one more question or so? Okay. You can take two questions from... Your Majesty.
Thank you, sir.
We are very happy to have you.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. From our son, our father, our brother, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, down to the line, I greet everybody. Honorable Minister, the golden son of Yoruba, under our own Asiwaju, I want to greet you. It is good I see you today. Anyway, I am happy to be here and happy to say it, that you are doing wonderful. And also to say to our president that he's also doing good job. At least, if it is that road infrastructure that we want to have for 8 years, I'm okay. When another government is coming, let him face another thing. in the next 30 to 40 years, Nigeria will stable. Now we are having direction. We are building something. You can't build something on nothing, or build nothing on something. Either way around. But we are building something now. I want to appreciate every of your good job, ably supervised by you, done by ITech. Nevertheless, I'm using this medium opportunity to put your attention, because you are not just a minister for road, you are minister for works. Not road. You and SSA on community engagement, please, we need your attention in Ibejuleki, particularly constituency 2, that's Lekki LCDA Axis, because we are facing issue of ocean surge, and it's wiping communities away day by day. And if care is not taken, even the coastal road, this ocean surge can also close by. So we want you to use your office and call the Lagos State government alongside, so that needful can be done. Because without the community, coastal road cannot be in existence. And it is we. While we are appreciating you, we are appreciating all your good job. And I'm putting it to you now. I'm saying it internationally, that you, Senator David Umahi, the Minister for Works, you are doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Majesty. We heard you very loud, and we will do something about it. Today, just like the Eco-Atlantic, we are in talk with the federal state government. There must be land given to the federal government along the corridor. And is those land that there will be investment to do exactly along the coast what was done in Eco-Atlantic? Yes, thank you, thank you. So when that is done, just like the coastal highway, you saw where in kilometer 13, the ocean was coming to, in fact, even break the road. So we had to deploy the technology of the Eco-Atlantic. So, and Your Majesty, you are everything, because when you spoke, you have spoken, for us, because only you, know who is the custodian of the land, that the coastal highway has stopped the surge. And so, to the people living on the southern part of the ocean, that is what His Majesty is action. And by getting land there, of course, we will work with the state government and the community. We will now do shore protection and prevent the ocean from wiping, our community. We will do that. We will do that. Now, because of time, we will do one more program. And I think that we will do more 3-4, engagement. We will be reaching out to Your Majesties when the design is completed, because it seems that you will use your hand and remove those, property that will be on the way. It's either the property go or the solution is aborted. This is just very simple.